Okay, so we had started the transportation problem in the previous class, and we had seen that the solution is divided into two steps. First, we have to find the initial basic feasible solution. And I had told you that we had three methods to find the initial basic feasible solution. The first method that we are discussing, the northwest corner method. And let's continue that northwest corner method. Okay, one simple example again we are going to see by the help of northwest corner method. Okay, again you can see that there are three origins this time and four destinations. The supply and demand of each are given, and again you can see that this will get added to. Okay, if I make the summation of all these three, okay, this will be equal to 35, and the same will be the summation of the demands. You can clearly see that this is equal to 35. Okay, their summation is also equal to 35. Therefore we can see that summation of ai is equal to summation of bj. We can say that this is a balanced transportation problem. Okay, for the unbalanced, we need to first balance the transportation problem. Okay, there is no issue in this case. Now, since we are dealing with the northwest corner method, we can directly start with the northwest cell. Okay, top left corner cell here, which is this here. And you can see that if we are going to see that this cell belongs to column 1 and row 1. Okay, the demand of this row is, the supply of this row is 14, the demand of this column is 6. Okay, only the minimum among them will get satisfied. Okay, the demand here in this case will be satisfied. Therefore we can see that out of 6 and 14, the minimum is 6. Therefore we can say that 6 units can be allocated to this cell. We can make an allocation of 6 units to this cell. Now the demand of destination 1, okay, the demand of the destination 1 is exhausted. Okay, we can say that it is fulfilled. Therefore this cell and this cell here won't be allocated, and we can see that this demand is exhausted. Okay, it has been completely fulfilled by the origin one. Okay, now the table left here is this table. Okay, you can see that the northmost corner cell is northwest corner cell here is this. Okay, this is the cell here, that is 1 2 cell, and you can see that the demand of destination 2 is equal to 10 units, and the supply available from the origin one is 14. Okay, sorry, it's not 14, it will be left as 8. Remaining supply is equal to 8. Okay, this is the remaining supply. We can see that out of these two, the minimum will be satisfied. Okay, 8 and 10 ke beech mein jo minimum hai, that is 8. Okay, and this is the allocation which has to be made in this cell. And once we have gave all these 8 units, now you can see that this cell and this cell won't be allocated because the supply of the origin one has exhausted. और यहाँ से क्या बचता है? You can see that the destination D2 needed 10 units and 8 has been supplied by the origin one. Therefore, it is left with only 2 units. Okay, the demand is now only 2 units in this case. Now coming back here, we can see that the northmost cell here is equal to, this is the northmost cell. Okay, northwest cell. यहाँ पे भी हम देख सकते हैं that it belongs to origin second and destination second. We can see that for the origin second, the supply is 16, but the demand left for the destination point 2 is only 2 units. Therefore, 2 units will be supplied here. Okay, this will get exhausted now, and here we will be left with 14 units. After that, you can see that this cell will get now this allocated. We can see that 14 units can be allocated here, and the supply of this origin second is now exhausted. The demand was 15, 14 has been fulfilled, only 1 unit is left here. Okay, and after this we can see that this cell will not be allocated. Okay, this cell won't be allocated here, and यहाँ से भी हम देख सकते थे कि इसके भी allocation खत्म हो चुकी है. Now we are left with only these two cells. We can see that the northwest cell is this. Here 1 will be allocated, and the demand will be now 0. यहाँ पे क्या बचा? यहाँ पे supply 4 बचा, and this 4 and this 4, it will be allocated here. Okay, so Please tell me what is the transportation cost now. What will be the transportation cost? It will be 36 plus 32 plus 18 plus 28 plus 15 plus 16. Okay, this is the transportation cost.
One.
Okay, rupees 145. ठीक है. Is this clear? कहीं पे गलती तो नहीं हुई? 6, 8, 14, 1 and 4. Okay, this is fine. So this was the one method by which we can calculate the initial basic feasible solution. This is the northwest corner method. Okay, this will give you the poor solution. Okay, you can see that. अभी हम देखेंगे अब second method, that is least cost method. The second method is least cost method. Okay. किसी को कुछ पूछना है पिछले क्वेश्चन के रिलेटेड? Shall I move to the next method?
सर ये रिपीट कीजिए एक बार फिर से सर.
कहाँ पे?
सर पहले से रिपीट कीजिए. एक्चुअली सर मैंने प्रीवियस क्लास दिया ही नहीं था, अभी भी डिस्कनेक्ट हुआ सर.
I will send the
आप
recording.
प्लीज
आप पिछली क्लास देखो, ठीक है?
ओके सर.
Least cost method, fine. So see here, the northwest corner randomly allocate करता था cells को. I mean to say not randomly, but it started from the northwest corner cell. वहां पे कितना भी cost हो, we have to allocate that cell. Okay, it is independent of the cost. It depends upon the position. ठीक है? And this method, you can see that this depends upon the position. But least cost method somehow gives the respect to the cost. ठीक है? It takes into the account what is the transportation cost. आपने कहीं पे भी नहीं देखा नॉर्थ वेस्ट कॉर्नर सेल में, अगर नॉर्थ वेस्ट कॉर्नर सेल जो है तो हमने यहाँ से स्टार्ट किया था D1O1 सेल से. अगर इसमें कितना भी हायर कॉस्ट होता, इसको स्टार्ट करना ही करना पड़ता है इस सेल से. ओके, दैट्स व्हाई यूजुअली इट गिव्स अस द पुअर सॉल्यूशन. But now see here, how does the least cost method take into care the cost? Okay, we'll solve the same problem which we had solved in the previous class as well by this technique. Okay, so we can see that we can write the same elements which we had discussed it in the previous class. So this will be equal to 2, this will be equal to 7, this is equal to 4, this is equal to 3, this is equal to 3, this is equal to 1, and this is 5, here we have 4, here we have 7, here we have 1, here we have 6, and here we have 2. Okay, these are the cost per unit, okay, of different cells. So now here you can see that we can further see that there were 4 sources, S1, S2, S3, and S4, and there were 3 destination points. Okay, D1, D2, and D3. Their availabilities was equal to 5, 8. This is the same question which I had discussed using the northwest corner method in the previous class. 7, 9, 18. Okay, so these are the elements in this cell. So what does this least cost method say? That this least cost method says that here we can write that this is the availability and this is the demand of each destination. Okay, what does this say? That this least cost method says that maximum possible allocation is made to that cell which has the least unit cost. Okay, the cell which has the least unit cost. ठीक है, तो हम स्टार्ट करेंगे एलोकेशन उस सेल में जिसका सबसे least unit cost हो, okay, which has the cell which has the least unit cost. So you can see that if we clearly see this cost cells, okay, we can see that the least cost is present at two places. ठीक है, ये कहता है कि allocation start वहां पे करो जहां पे सबसे least per unit cost हो. You can see that this cell here has the least per unit cost and this cell has the least per unit cost. ठीक है, so we can start making allocation in these cells. ठीक है, so सबसे ज्यादा allocation हम कहाँ पे try करेंगे करना. ठीक है, जहाँ पे सबसे कम least transportation cost हो. Okay, obviously we can, this little bit gives us, it is a logical statement that we can start allocating those cells. पहले वहां पे हम transportation start करें जहां पे खर्चा कम आएगा. So you can see that there are two cells which have the least cost. ठीक है, अभी यूनिक आएगा लीस्ट कॉस्ट, लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, द लीस्ट कॉस्ट इज नॉट यूनिक. सो उस केस में क्या करना है, व्हाट वी हैव टू डू हियर, वी कैन राइट दैट इफ द सेल विथ लीस्ट कॉस्ट, if the cell with least cost is not unique, if the cell with the least cost is not unique, the cell where maximum allocations can be made, the cell where maximum allocations can be made is preferred. The cell among them, okay, among these two, the cell among them where maximum allocations can be made is preferred. Okay, so we can see here that the least cost cell was at two places. The first cell is what, the least cost cell, दो cells हैं यहाँ पे. The one is here S2D1. Okay, S2D1 is the cell which has the least cost, okay, 1 unit, and S4D1 is another cell which has the least cost, that is rupees 1. Okay, among all them we have to see which is the least. The least is rupees 1 per unit, and it is at two cells. Okay, S2D1 and S4D S1. ठीक है, यहाँ पे 3 है, in fact this is 3. बेटा बताइए मुझे अब कौन सा मैं allocate करूं, S2D3 or S4D1, which cell is to be allocated. ठीक है, जहां पे clash आता है, what we have to do, we have to allocate that cell where the maximum allocations can be made. Okay, बताइए इस स्टेटमेंट को पढ़ के क्या लगता है आपको, एलोकेशन कहां पे स्टार्ट करनी चाहिए.
S4D1.
S4D1, no, it has to be done in S2D3. See here, if I am going to allocate this cell, अगर इस सेल की allocation हमने करनी है, we can see that यहाँ पे जो allocation possible होगी, कितनी possible होगी यहाँ पे allocation अगर हम इस सेल को allocate करें. What is the allocation possible?
8.
Okay, obviously it is 8 because this belongs to S2, the supply is 8, and it belongs to D3, demand is 18. Therefore I can at max supply I can allocate 8 units. यहाँ पे अगर मुझे allocation करनी थी, I can allocate what, 7 units. Okay, I can make an allocation of 7 units. But see what the clash rule tells us, कि अगर कहीं पे clash आया between these, what do I have to do? If the cell with the least count is not unique, in our case it is not unique, सबसे least count दो cells में आ गया, therefore our least cost cell is not unique, then the cell among them where maximum allocations can be made is preferred. And we can make 7 allocations here, we can make 8 allocations here. Okay, obviously we will first start with that cell where maximum allocations will be made, and this is the cell where maximum allocations can be made, है ना? So we will start with this cell here. यहाँ पे maximum allocation possible है. So this is 1, and we can see that 7 or 8 allocations can be made here. Okay, it has been allocated 8 units. Then the supply, okay, the availability of this source second is exhausted. It is left with none. और यहाँ पे कितना बचा? डिमांड थर्ड डेस्टिनेशन की 18 यूनिट्स थी, 8 has been met, 10 are left here. Okay, and we can also see that S2, okay, supply point second से अब कुछ supply नहीं होगा because its capacity was 8 and it has supplied all this to the destination 3. Therefore supply second won't send any unit to destination D1 and destination D2. Okay, अब कौन सा cost सबसे छोटा बचा है यहाँ पे? Obviously 1. Okay, this cell will be allocated because it is the least cost among the जो भी बचा अब यहाँ पे. ठीक है, so forget about this cell. This cell is gone now. Okay, this row is in fact gone. Among them 2, 7, 4, 5, 4, 7, 1, 6, 2, the least cost is 2. Therefore, sorry, least cost is 1 again. Therefore what will we do here? We will allocate this cell here, and you can see that यहाँ पे demand is 7, supply is 14. Therefore demand will get satisfied, nothing will be left here. ठीक है, destination 1 की demand 7 थी, so उसने सारा कहाँ से लिया? वो S4 से. So these two cells won't be further allocated. अब यहाँ पे बचा कितना? यहाँ पे बचा 7. ठीक है, after this, now which cell is to be allocated now, which has the least cost? Cell S4 D3. Okay, यहाँ पे बचा क्या अब? 7, 4, 4, 7, 6, 2. This has the least cost. अभी least cost cell है, unique. Okay, it is unique. It will be directly allocated. अब कितना possible है यहाँ पे allocation? Supply 7 है, demand 10 है. The minimum one will be supplied. Okay, allocated. The supply of S4 has exhausted, but demand of D3 is still 10 minus 7, that is 3 units. Okay, अब exhaust क्या हुआ? Supply exhaust हुआ, तो ये वाली cell अब allocate नहीं होगी. Now we are left with 4 cells, 7, 4, 4, 7. Okay, again you can see that this is not unique. Okay, this is not unique. So which cell has to be allocated now? S1 D3 or S3 D2?
S3D2.
S3 D2. Okay, कैसे हम देखते हैं? जहाँ पे clash आता है we have to see maximum allocations कहाँ पे possible है. यहाँ पे okay, इस cell में क्या था? 3 allocations were possible, but here 7 allocations are possible. Therefore this will be allocated. The supply of S3 has exhausted, therefore this cell won't be further counted. यहाँ पे बचा क्या? Demand of 2 units is still there. After this, now which cell is to be allocated? The least cost cell. Okay, अब दो ही cells बचे, 7 और 4. Least cost इस cell में है, therefore we can say that 3 units will be allocated to this cell. The demand has exhausted, but the availability is still 2. Now the last cell which is remaining here is this cell, so this will be exhausted. Okay, balance of transportation problem. So this is the final solution to this question. Okay, now we can see that इसका जो solution होगा, let me write it here. The solution is, ठीक है, कौन कौन सी cell यहाँ पे allocate होगी? You can see that 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3. Okay, just tell me which cell, कौन कौन सी cell allocate होगी? X1, 2 कितना आया?
7.
उसके बाद
2 into
X1, 3.
7.
X1, 3 भी allocate हो गया.
Yes, 4.
4 units. उसके बाद
S2D2. 3. No, S2D3. 1.
S2, D3. Okay, X2, 3, 1 unit. उसके बाद
S3D2. 4.
X3, 2. Okay,
Yes, sir. 3, 3, 3 नहीं. फिर
4, 1.
S4D3.
X4, 1 कितना आया? 7?
1. So
1 or
1.
1. Okay. And x 4 3, I
4,
think.
3. 4, 3, 2.
2 units. नहीं, मैं allocations की बात कर रहा हूँ ना. You are saying wrong. I am saying that how many units have been allocated? 238 777. Okay, I'm talking about the allocations made, not these costs. Okay, these are 238 7 and 7. Let me correct it. This is 2, this is 3, this is 8, the rest are 7. So this is the solution. Okay, you can see that 6 allocations have to be made. Okay, so you can also see here there is a rule that m plus n minus 1 rule. Okay, how can we say that our initial basic feasible solution is a feasible solution? Okay, we have a rule here that, so let me discuss what is the rule here. The rule is m plus n minus 1 rule. It says that your solution will be feasible, okay, when the allocations, okay, in the basic cells will be equal to m plus n minus 1. So what does this rule say? That I will write here: in any balanced transportation problem, in any balanced transportation problem, with m sources and n destinations, with m sources and n destinations, m plus n minus 1 basic cells should be present. M minus 1 should be present. Okay? And then we see that the solution is a basic feasible solution. You can see that, okay, you can see that यहाँ पे अगर हम इसकी बात करें, यहाँ पे m क्या था? M sources, okay, the sources were 4 and the destinations were 3. Okay, then the number of basic solutions should have been 4 plus 3 minus 1. Therefore 6 allocations should have been made. You can see that we have made 6 allocations. Okay, अगर आप ये पुराना भी चेक करते, यहाँ पे भी हम चेक करते, here the origins are what? 3. Okay, m is equal to 3, n is equal to 4. Okay, 3 plus 4 minus 1, that is again equal to 6. तो क्या होनी चाहिए थी यहाँ पे? 6 allocations. You can see that this is the first allocation, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. Okay, so initial basic feasible solution में जो ये allocations होगी, there will be the 6 allocations. Okay, there will be 6 allocations. So I hope this is clear to you. Can anyone say why we get 6 allocations? Can anyone say why we get 6 allocations? कोई मुझे बता सकता है कि 6 allocations क्यों हो गई?
Three variables, four equations.
3 variables, 4 equations, उससे क्या होगा? Zila is present.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you give me the answer to this question?
सर मुझे सवाल ही समझ में नहीं आ रहा है.
यहाँ पे 6 allocations क्यों हो गई? ये आया समझ कैसे हमने सॉल्व किया?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, सॉल्व करके कितनी allocations हो गई? सेल्स कितनी थी? 12 cells थी. There were
जी
12
सर.
cells, but the allocations were made in only 6 cells. बाकी cells में allocation नहीं हो गई. Why only 6 cells? Okay, allocation possible क्यों हुई in only 6 cells? Can anyone say? महविश आप बता सकते हो why we allocated 6 cells? Why we got allocation in the 6 cells?
शायद क्योंकि यूनिक जो कॉस्ट था वो सिर्फ एक ही सेल में था तो उस हिसाब से शायद.
No. महविश, can you tell me?
समझ ही नहीं आ रहा.
क्या नहीं समझ रहा क्वेश्चन और दिस जो हमने किया यहाँ पे?
यही कि मतलब सही है कि मतलब क्यों आ रहे हैं 6 एलोकेशंस.
ओके, बाकी सेल्स में क्या एलोकेट हुआ? कैन यू टेल? What is x11? What is x11? If I talking about x11, that is equal to what?
0.
0. चलो मैंने अभी ये भी बताया, बाकी सेल्स में जो एलोकेशन है that is 0. ओके, नेक्स्ट क्लास में मुझे आप सब इसका मुझे बताएंगे रीजन व्हाई वी गॉट 6 allocations. We'll move forward. We'll start the most important method, okay, which gives us the best initial basic feasible solution. Okay, before that we can also see one more problem on the basis of least cost method. Okay, the same problem which we today did with the northwest corner method. Just to wind up this, within 5 minutes we will solve this question, the same question which we had done. Okay, the same method we will use the. Okay, so I will write this question here. Okay, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 and 4. I think it is a different question. I think 4320. Okay, let us do that question. वही question करते हैं हम. जो हमने इससे पहले किया था नॉर्थ वेस्ट कॉर्नर मेथड से. Okay, we can compare the costs. So if we are going to see that question again, this was 6415. This was equal to 8927. 27. This was equal to 4362. And this was 14. This was 16. This was 5. And this was 6. This was 10. Okay. So now we can see that the least cost here is this. Okay. This cell here, it has the least cost per unit. You can see that the allocation will be made in this cell, and you can see that the allocation possible is of 14 units because the demand is 15, supply is 14. Therefore, we have exhausted the supply and the demand left is still 1 unit. And you can see that this will be cancelled here. Okay. अब जो बाकी टेबल में बचा, we don't have a unique cost, least cost. Okay, we have 2 least costs. One is in this cell and another is in this cell here. But we prefer that जहाँ पे maximum allocations possible हो, तो हम वो cell allocate करते हैं. ठीक है. अगर हम ये cell allocate करने बैठे तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक allocation possible है because the demand is only 1. But if we are trying to allocate this cell, okay, we can see that we can make 4 allocations. Okay, obviously we will try to make the maximum allocations in the least cost cell. The supply will be 1. Okay, And after that, we can see that since what has exhausted here, I think this has exhausted. Okay, यहाँ पे कितना बचा था? 14. How much it is here?
15.
15.
Yes sir, क्योंकि 2 के पास 1.
Okay, 1 हुआ था allocate. This is 15. Okay. And we can see that ये अब least cost one बचा. अब यहाँ पे 6 elements बचे हैं. We can see that the least cost is in this cell here. The least cost is in this cell, but only one allocation is possible. Okay. Therefore, this gets exhausted, and we are left with 14 here. Okay. अब जो बाकी cells बचे, we can see that the least cost is 15.
Yes sir, so 16 है ना, वहाँ पे अब 1 जाएगा तो 15.
उससे पहले नहीं जाता कुछ.
No sir.
Okay. 15. Okay. ठीक है. अब जो भी बाकी cells बची, you can see that the 3 has the least cost here. Okay. 10 is the यहाँ से जो demand है, that is 10. The supply is equal to 1. Only the supply will get. Okay. अब जो लीस्ट कॉस्ट बचा 8, 9, 4, 6 में, उसके बीच में कितना बचा? This is the 4 is the least cost cell, and you can see that 6 is the demand. यहाँ पे क्या है? Supply is 0. Okay, supply is 0. Therefore, this is exhausted already. Okay, ठीक है. ये exhaust हुआ because the supply is equal to 0 now. अब बचा क्या यहाँ पे? 8, 9 and 6. We can see that 6 भी यहाँ पे exhaust हुआ है. Okay, isn't it? अब यहाँ पे बचे क्या? 8 and 9. Okay, 8 is the one which will be allocated. Okay, it will be allocated with 6. We will have 0 here, and यहाँ पे 9 बचता है. फिर जो last cell बचती है ये 9. This and this gets allocated here. Okay, so this is the solution here. So you can calculate the cost here. The cost will be equal to 14 plus 48 plus 81 plus 2 plus 3 plus 8. तो कितना आ जाता है ये cost? 156.
Yes sir, 156.
वहां पे कितना आया था नॉर्थ वेस्ट से? 145.
145.
Okay, there can be the variation. कोई कम देगा, कोई ज्यादा देगा.
सर हम लोगों ने मगर वहां पे दिया था सेल 31 का 6 पर यूनिट कॉस्ट, और यहाँ पे हम लोगों ने लिया है कुछ और 4.
सेल 31 का कौन सा?
सर
ये?
बॉटम सेल.
ये?
जी सर.
ओके,
जी
कोई भी
सर,
क्वेश्चन
इसका
हो, कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो, देयर इज नो इशू. Okay, so this same problem we will calculate, solve by the method that is known as WAM, or we can say that Vogel approximation method. Okay, Vogel's approximation method. So what does this method dictate us? Okay, northwest, you can see that was based on the position. Another method we saw, the least cost method, that was based upon the cost. ठीक है, किसका सबसे कम cost है. लेकिन ये जो method है, it is based upon the penalty method. This method is also sometimes known as what? Penalty method. Okay, so one analogy I can give you to you is that by which you can relate this method. Suppose you have to submit assignment tomorrow. Okay, you have to submit assignment tomorrow. You have 5 subjects, 5 faculty members give you assignment for all these subjects. Okay, हर किसी subject का आपको एक एक assignment मिलता है, ठीक है? Suppose one faculty says that if you submit the assignment late by 1 day, okay, 2 marks will be deducted. 2 marks will be deducted. Second faculty member says that if you submit by late by 1 day, okay, as the days go on progressing, हर किसी दिन के साथ साथ आपके 5-5 marks कटेंगे, ठीक है? Some say that कि per day एक एक marks कटता जाएगा जितना आप late submit करोगे. Fourth says that 6 marks will get subtracted per day, okay? And the fifth faculty member says that 3 marks will get subtracted per day, okay? So अगर आपको possible है कि आप एक ही submit कर सकते हो कल, okay? If you are able to submit only one assignment on each day, ठीक है? आपको assignment बनाना है तो आप स्टार्ट करोगे, कल आप एक सबमिट करोगे, परसों आप एक सबमिट करोगे, उसके अगले दिन आप एक ही सबमिट कर पाओगे, उसके नेक्स्ट डे आप एक ही सबमिट कर पाओगे, उसके बाद आप एक ही सबमिट कर पाओगे. That is per day you can submit only one assignment. Okay, you can submit only one assignment per day. ठीक है? 5 assignments have been given you today. The faculty says that submit tomorrow. हर कोई assignment कल submit करो, but you are able to submit only one assignment per day. And you have the penalty here. Okay, ये एक हिसाब से penalty है that if you are not able to submit this assignment, this much marks will be deducted per day. अगर आपको ये assignment नहीं submit कर पाए, आपके इतने marks कटेंगे. So by the logic, what can you say that आप सबसे पहला किस faculty member का assignment submit करना चाहोगे? Which assignment would you like to submit first?
4.
You can see you will like to submit this because it has the highest penalty. अगर एक भी दिन डिले हो गया 6 मार्क्स कट जाएंगे, तो एक दिन का डिले इस फैकल्टी मेंबर के 6 दिन के डिले के बराबर है, isn't it? है ना? Simple thing is that logic simple है that you would like to first of all complete this assignment because अगर आपका एक दिन भी इसका लेट हुआ, you will be deducted 6 marks. Okay, if you have the choice of completing only one assignment per day, then you will first of all submit. You will try to submit this assignment because it carries the highest penalty. Okay, it carries the highest penalty. Okay, therefore the same logic applies here. What we do is that we calculate penalties of each row and column. Okay, we calculate penalties of each row and column. हम सबसे पहले वहां पे assignment करना चाहेंगे. We would like to allocate that cell which has the highest penalty. Okay, that cell which has the highest penalty. ठीक है? So see here, what is the step that is involved? The first step is that, okay, we can write the step here. The first step involved is here, calculate the difference between the lowest and next highest. The lowest and next higher cost. Okay, next higher cost. For each row and column. Okay, calculate the difference between lowest and the next higher cost for each row and column. Okay, these differences are called penalties. Okay, these differences are called as penalties. Okay, choose the row Okay, choose the row or column with the highest penalty. Okay, choose the row or column with the highest penalty. Choose the row or column with the highest penalty. Okay, so first of all, let us see here, what do you mean by these penalties? For each row and column, we have to calculate penalty. यहाँ पे हम लिखेंगे column, these rows की penalties, and यहाँ पे हम लिखेंगे columns की. ठीक है? So this is the penalty for column. ठीक है? So ये क्या कहता है, अगर हमें फर्स्ट रो की पेनल्टी हमें कैलकुलेट करनी है, इट इज गिवन बाय द डिफरेंस ऑफ द लोवेस्ट एंड उसके बाद का हाईएस्ट. ठीक है? यू कैन सी दैट इन द फर्स्ट रो द लोवेस्ट इज 2 and the next higher to it is 4. Therefore, the penalty is the difference between 2 and 4. You can see that the difference comes out to be 2. Therefore, this is the 2. This 2 is the penalty for this row. Okay, this 2 is the penalty for this row. Similarly, if we want to calculate the penalty of the row number second, we can see that the lowest is 1. Next higher is what? 3. So 3 and 1, the penalty is equal to 2. अगर हम इस रो की बात करते हैं, थर्ड रो की, तो क्या होनी चाहिए इसमें पेनल्टी? What should be the penalty for the third row and the fourth row?
1 1.
Okay, 4 and 5, these are the lowest, and यहाँ पे सबसे lowest है 1, उसके बाद 2 है, तो इनका difference क्या होगा? 1. Similarly, we will calculate the penalties of all these. Okay, you can see that the lowest in the first column is 1 and the next higher is 2. Therefore, the penalty will be 1. इसके बाद 3 and 4. Okay, 3 is the lowest in the second column and 4 is the next higher to it. Okay, the difference between them is 1. उसके बाद क्या होगा? उसके बाद होगा 4172. Okay, 4172, which has the most penalty. Okay, which has the higher penalty here. The higher penalty is this 1 2. ठीक है? The lowest is 1. उसके बाद का क्या है? उसके बाद 2 है. The difference between them is 1. ठीक है? So this is what, these are the penalties. Okay, these are the penalties of each row and column. तो हम पहले उस रो में एलोकेशन करना चाहेंगे जहां पे ज्यादा पेनल्टी हो कि कम पेनल्टी हो. What should we start first? Where should we start first? The rows or columns which have highest penalty or lowest penalty?
Highest.
Obviously we'll prefer highest penalty, because अगर हम उसमें least cost वाले में एलोकेशन नहीं कर पाए तो हमें क्या देनी पड़ेगी? हायर पेनल्टी देनी पड़ेगी. We will have to give a higher penalty which will contribute to the higher transportation cost. Okay, it will contribute to the higher transportation cost. Okay, it will contribute to the higher transportation cost. Okay, so let me look for one question which is a little bit simple than this. Okay, if I found a question which is little bit simple, मुझे अभी मिलेगा नहीं क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज मैं चाहता था कि यूनिक पेनल्टी जहां पे आ जाए. लेट्स सी हियर. ओके, सो पहले दिमाग में हमें रखना है कि हमें एलोकेशन पहले वहां पे करनी चाहिए जहां पे क्या हो, जहां पे पेनल्टी ज्यादा हो. बिकॉज इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू डू द एलोकेशन देयर, ये कहाँ फंस सकता है? ये कहाँ फंस सकता है? ये जो हमारी सेल है, मतलब जो एलोकेशन है, फिर हमें किसी हायर सेल में करनी पड़ेगी. व्हाट डज दैट मीन हियर इज दैट, देखिए अगर हम देखते हैं पहला रो, अगर हम देखते हैं, ठीक है, हम चाहेंगे स्टार्ट करना विद 2, लेकिन अगर हमें यहाँ पे पॉसिबल नहीं हुई एलोकेशन, 2 के बाद क्या आता है? 2 के बाद 4 आता है. ओके, अगर यहाँ पे 2 में एलोकेशन नहीं हुई पॉसिबल, फिर हमें 4 में एलोकेशन करनी पड़ेगी, विच विल बी, दैट मीन्स द कॉस्ट विल इंक्रीज मोर. ठीक है, तो जितना पेनल्टी ज्यादा होगा कॉस्ट बढ़ता जाएगा. ठीक है, दैट्स व्हाई वी विल प्रेफर फर्स्ट एलोकेशन is to be made where in the one which has the highest penalty. Okay, because we would like to fill those cells first. Okay, we would like to fill those cells first. See here, अब यहाँ पे दो rows है जहाँ पे highest penalty है. You can see that the row 1 and row 2 both have the penalty of 2. Okay, they have both penalty of 2. अब दोनों में से कौन सा रो हम सिलेक्ट करेंगे, कहाँ पे एलोकेशन करेंगे, किस सेल में एलोकेशन करना चाहेंगे? ठीक है,
रो 1 में से।
वेरी गुड। अब दोनों में क्या है, दोनों में हाईएस्ट पेनल्टी है. पेनल्टी इज देयर इज अ क्लैश बिटवीन द रो 1 एंड रो 2, बट वी वुड लाइक टू मेक एलोकेशन इन दैट रो व्हिच हैज द लीस्ट कॉस्ट. ठीक है, अब ये कॉस्ट का भी ख्याल रखता है और पेनल्टीज का भी ख्याल रखता है. ठीक है, यू कैन सी दैट इन द रो नंबर 2 वी हैव द लीस्ट कॉस्ट सेल. ठीक है, अगर यहाँ पे सपोज क्या होता है, यहाँ पे 2 होता, suppose यहाँ पे 3 होता. Okay, for example I take this to be the penalty number 3. Okay, I take this to be the penalty 3 here. तो यहाँ पे without किसी बिना सोचे हम allocation कहाँ पे करते, we would have started the allocation in the first row because it has the highest penalty. और इस रो में कहाँ पे allocation करते, we would have started with the least cost. ठीक है, तो least cost का भी concept यहाँ पे आता है कि रो कैसे ढूंढते हो, किस रो में या किस कॉलम में एलोकेशन करोगे, वो आपको देगा पेनल्टी. ठीक है, जिस रो या जिस कॉलम में आपको हाईएस्ट पेनल्टी होगी वहां पे आपको एलोकेशन स्टार्ट करनी है. और उस रो या उस कॉलम में कौन सी सेल में एलोकेशन करें, दैट विल बी डिटरमाइंड बाय द यूनिट कॉस्ट ऑफ द एलिमेंट्स इन दैट सेल. ओके, बट इन माय केस व्हाट इज द पेनल्टी हियर, इट इज 2, therefore it is not unique. There is a clash between row 1 and row 2. लेकिन हम उस रो को देखेंगे जहां पे क्या होगा, जहां पे लीस्ट कॉस्ट सेल होगी. ठीक है, यू कैन सी दैट द लीस्ट कॉस्ट सेल बिलोंग्स टू व्हाट, लीस्ट कॉस्ट सेल बिलोंग्स टू द रो नंबर 2. Therefore we will start making allocation in this cell here, and we can see that the allocation possible is supply is 8 and demand is 18. Therefore 8 will be allocated now. अब यहाँ पे बचा कितना, 0, और यहाँ पे बचा कितना, यहाँ पे 10 बचा. ठीक है, this is not now to be allocated because the supply was how much, supply was 8 and all these 8 units have been given to the destination number 3. Therefore supply point second can't give anything to the destination 1, neither it can give anything to the destination 2 here. Okay, this is the first table. Okay, this is the first table. Fine, so table, now we have to make another table. Okay, इसमें क्या करना पड़ता है, we have to make another table and calculate the new penalties. Okay, so see here what we are going to do. I will start making a new table. Okay, second row खत्म हो गया because one row has been allocated. Therefore no need to bring that row again into the picture. S1 will still be there. S2 वाला row क्या हो गया, वो पूरा खत्म हो गया. You can see that has been completely allocated. Okay, इस cell में allocation हो गई, इन दो में possible नहीं है. Therefore the second row has been wiped out. The elements left are here 274, 547, 274. ठीक है, this is S3 and this is S4 now. ठीक है, अब मुझे elements बताओ कौन कौन से हैं यहाँ पे.
547,
547,
162.
162. ओके, यहाँ पे था destination 1, destination 2, destination 3. इनकी अवेलेबिलिटीज बताओ, source 1, source 3 and source 4.
5, 7, 14.
5, 7, 14. And the demands
7, 9, 18.
very good. Okay, so this is the table left because second row has been allocated. Now what we have to do, we have to,
थी ना for demand?
क्या था,
10 sir,
10.
18.
what,
So 18 नहीं 10.
सर 10 रहेगा।
ओके, वहां पे इतना बचा था, ठीक ठीक। जस्ट अ सेकेंड। यस, 5 अभी भी अवेलेबल है, 7 अभी भी अवेलेबल है, 14 अभी भी अवेलेबल है। यहाँ पे क्या क्या बचा था? यहाँ पे 7 अभी भी है, द डिमांड इज 7, द डिमांड इज 9, बट यहाँ की डिमांड जो है दैट इज 10 बिकॉज इट हैज बीन ऑलरेडी सेटिस्फाइड। ओके, सो द डिमांड हियर इज 10। ओके, दिस इज 10 हियर, फाइन, आई विल करेक्ट इट हियर, दिस इज 10। Okay, so what we need to do here is again calculate the penalties for each row and each column. This will give us the row penalty, this will give us the column penalty. Okay, so if we are going to calculate it for the first row, you can see that the lowest is 2, उसके बाद का 4 है, इनकी बीच में जो difference है that is equal to 2. अब यहाँ पे the lowest is 4, highest is 5, next higher is 5. Okay, not the lowest and highest, lowest and next higher, that is 4. Lowest is 4, next higher is 5, the difference between them is 1. 1 and 2, यहाँ की difference 1 है। अब अगर column penalties की बात की जाए, 1 and 2, the penalty is equal to 1. The highest here is, lowest is 4, next higher is 6, therefore the penalty is 2. यहाँ पे 2 और 4, इनके बीच में जो difference है that is equal to 2. Okay, so now अब हमें वो रो या वो कॉलम एलोकेट करना है जहां पे हाईएस्ट पेनल्टी है। यू कैन सी दैट द हाईएस्ट पेनल्टी बिलोंग्स टू रो 1, column 2 and column 3. So which one should be allocated? कौन सा allocate करना चाहिए हमें? The one which has the least cost, ठीक है ना? जहां पे clash आता है, penalties में clash जहां पे आता है, the one which has the least cost has to be allocated. ठीक है? अब कौन सा कहां पे allocation possible है? इस रो में clash है, इस कॉलम में clash है और इस कॉलम में clash है। Let's see the elements of the row 1. 2 7 4, column second 7 4 6, column 3 4 7 and 2. अब यहाँ पे further clash आ गया, ठीक है? कहां पे clash आ गया? तो row column 2 हम allocate नहीं करेंगे because it does not have the least cost, but the least cost among them is 2. It is present in the row 1 and column 3. That is, it is present here and it is present here. So बताइए बेटा कहां पे allocation करें अब? फर्स्ट रो में या कॉलम थर्ड में? अब ये वाला क्लैश कैसे रिजॉल्व होता है? How is this clash resolved? I told you in the previous method as well. कहां पे हम रिजॉल्व कर सकते हैं बताइए? कौन सा हम एलोकेट करना चाहेंगे?
जहाँ पे मैक्सिमम एलोकेशन हो।
ओके, जहां पे लोवेस्ट यूनिट कॉस्ट का क्लैश जहां पे आता है, हम वो सेल एलोकेट करना चाहेंगे जहां पे मैक्सिमम एलोकेशंस पॉसिबल हो। तो वो किस केस में है? यहाँ पे एलोकेशंस जो पॉसिबल है दे आर 5. ओके, द एलोकेशंस पॉसिबल हियर आर 5 और यहाँ पे 10 है ना? सो वी विल गो विद द मैक्सिमम एलोकेशंस। यहाँ पे हम जो एलोकेशंस कर सकते हैं दैट इज इक्वल टू 10. Therefore we can allocate 10 units here. Once we have allocated 10 units here, this will get what? The demand of the row 3 will get exhausted. यहाँ पे जरूरत नहीं है फिर ये, यहाँ पे कितना बचेगा फिर? 4. ठीक है, this is 4 here. So once we are done with it, we have to form the new table. ठीक है, अब क्या हटा यहाँ से? कॉलम नंबर 3 हट गया है। ठीक है, कॉलम नंबर 3 is no longer the part of the table. What is the part is S1, S3 and S4. ठीक है, so the table now here will be 2 cross 3 table. Where we will have S1, S3 and S4. Column 1 that is demand 1, demand 2. Okay, चलिए बेटा मुझे बताइए यहाँ पे क्या क्या था?
2 7
2 7
5 4
5 4
1 6.
1 and 6. Okay, so the supply left here was 5, 7 and
Five.
4. ठीक है, 5, 7 and 4. This is 5, this is 7, this is 4. यहाँ पे डिमांड्स क्या थी?
7, 9.
7 and 9 were the demands. Okay, now we again need to calculate the penalties of each row and column. बताइए क्या क्या होगा? यहाँ पे सीधा इनका डिफरेंस ही होगा, that is 5. यहाँ पे 1 होगा और यहाँ पे क्या होगा? The penalty will be 5 again. और यहाँ पे अगर हम देखें 1 and 2, the difference is 1. यहाँ पे 4 and 6, the difference is 2. The highest penalty is now in the row 1 and row 4, isn't it? This has the highest penalty, this has the highest penalty. The one which has the least cost will be allocated first. Okay, you can see that in the row the cost cells are 2 and 7, and in the row number 4 the cells are 1 and 6. Okay, obviously we have the lowest cost in this cell, therefore this cell will be allocated here, and it will be allocated. The possible allocation is what? The possible allocation is यहाँ पे availability 4 है, demand 7 है, so this will be allocated. 4 will be allocated. We'll be left with 3. Okay, this will be 0. यहाँ पे ये खत्म हो गया. ठीक है, अब हमें नया टेबल फिर से बनाना है. The new table will be a smaller one, which will contain what? It will contain the first row and the third row, that is S1, and the row third, that is 2 and 7, 5 and 4. Okay, the demands are, sorry, the availabilities are 5 and 7, और यहाँ पे जो availability बची, that is 3 and 9. Okay, this is destination 1, destination 2. Okay, now we again need to calculate the penalties. The penalty here will be 5, it will be 1, it will be 5 minus 2, that is equal to 3. This will again be equal to 3. Okay, now you can see that the highest penalty is row 1. ठीक है, रो 1 में हाईएस्ट पेनल्टी है, तो रो 1 एलोकेट होगा, लेकिन रो 1 में कौन सी सेल एलोकेट होगी? जिसका लीस्ट कॉस्ट होगा, दैट इज दिस. ओके, 2 हैज द लीस्ट कॉस्ट अमंग देम, देयरफॉर द एलोकेशन विल बी, अब कितनी पॉसिबल है यहाँ पे? 5 and 3. ओके, डिमांड इज 3, सप्लाई इज 5, देयरफॉर 3 will be allocated, 3 units will be allocated to this cell. This will become 0. यहाँ पे एलोकेशन अब नहीं होगी, यहाँ पे क्या बचा? 2. ठीक है, यहाँ पे एलोकेशन क्या बचा? 2. अब जब ये 2 एलिमेंट्स रह गए, अब इसमें जरूरत नहीं है पेनल्टीज निकालने की, है ना? रो तो ये खत्म हो गया ना, यहाँ से ये कॉलम भी खत्म हो गया. ठीक है, अब क्या बचा? 7 और 4. तो एलोकेशन कहाँ पे हम पहले करेंगे? लीस्ट कॉस्ट वाले में. ठीक है, ठीक है, अब हम डिफरेंस नहीं कैलकुलेट कर सकते ना, वी कांट कैलकुलेट द डिफरेंस हियर. ओके, देयरफॉर वी कैन डायरेक्टली allocate this least cost cell here. The least cost cell here is equal to what? And the least cost cell here is 4. Therefore, we can allocate 7 units to it. This will be 0. यहाँ पे 2 बचेगा. अब लास्ट में कौन सी सेल allocate होगी? ये. ठीक है, यहाँ पे ये भी 2 है, यहाँ पे ये भी 2 है. This is the allocation. Okay. So this is the final allocation here. Now we can write what are the allocations that we have made. Okay. Okay, सबसे पहले allocation क्या थी? x23. Okay, you can see that source 2 and destination 3, that is x23 is 8. Okay, if I'm going to write these costs, okay, units, x23 is equal to 8. उसके बाद क्या होगा? उसके बाद कौन सी allocation होगी? उसके बाद हमने 4-3 allocation की. Okay, x43 is 10. x43 is equal to 10. उसके बाद वाली allocation क्या होगी? This 4-1 है ना, 4 and 1. x41 is equal to 4. उसके बाद ये वाली allocations 1-1 allocation, x11 is equal to 3, x12 is equal to 2, x32 is equal to 7. Okay, you can again see that 6 allocations have been made. Okay, sources were 3, destinations were 4, 3 plus 4 minus 1 is equal to 6. Okay, therefore 6 allocations were to be made. Okay, we must have 6 basic cells. Basic cells के ना वही जहाँ पे हमें decision variables का कुछ value मिल गया, बाकी क्या रहेंगे नॉन बेसिक सेल्स जहाँ पे 0 allocations हो गई. Okay, so can you calculate the cost here? मुझे cost बता सकते हो आप? What is the cost?
34.
34 ही cost है, इतना कम नहीं होगा.
So 80.
80 होगा. ठीक है. सो इसी प्रॉब्लम का नॉर्थ वेस्ट कॉर्नर से 102 आया था आई थिंक. लीस्ट कॉस्ट से 83 आ गया था और वोगल अप्रोक्सीमेशन से ₹80 आ गया था. ठीक है. इनिशियल बेसिक फिजिबल सॉल्यूशन. सो वैम इज द मोस्ट प्रेफर्ड टू फाइंड द इनिशियल बेसिक फिजिबल सॉल्यूशन. कभी कभी क्या होता है कि वैम से जो सॉल्यूशन मिलता है वो ऑप्टिमल आ जाता है. ठीक है. सो दिस गिव्स द बेस्ट सॉल्यूशन. दिस गिव्स द बेस्ट सॉल्यूशन. So tomorrow we will do what?